day for you? Those are the days you enjoy?
I enjoy every day, but especially heavy special teams day, that's probably my favorite day overall, just because we're more involved, or we have all the coaches watching us, they talk to us, unlike the other days.
Last one for me, and then I'll open it up to these guys. You probably more so than anybody know the guys who are going through pro day today. Cheering for them, how's that feeling for you, knowing what your guys are going to go through the rest of the day?
Well, I'm actually really eager to get out there right now. We have, five, and I'd say I'm close to probably all five of them too. It's pretty cool watching them. They lift after our practice, so in the weight room I'm talking to them, watching them, and it's going to be me in 2 years, and it's pretty exciting just to see what I'm going to be doing in 2 years, because hopefully Coach Joey is still here, he's one of the best, and it's just an awesome experience just to be involved with their experience in pro day here at FAU.
2 weeks after 2 weeks in spring practice, and now starting the third week today. What have you seen from the team so far that you've really liked?
Chemistry, team chemistry. I've been here since 2019. I'm a little older, so I was at the Ox, the tough days. The team chemistry is amazing. Everyone seems to be really excited to be at practice. You have no Debbie Downers. Just the energy at practice. Coach Herman really gets us going with the Bodies on the Floor song right after our warm-ups. So it's nice being out there. It's fun. High energy at all times.
Most of the guys at special teams are returning this year, including you. How have you guys been approaching spring practice, and how have you done well so far?
A lot of competition. It's special teams, specialists, there's competition every day. You can have one great day in the next practice, you go 0 for 2 at the bottom depth chart. The depth chart's always moving. Coach Lunsford has a flowing depth chart, and he likes like that. It's high competition, and competition makes everybody better, so you better rise up.
And speaking of Coach Lunsford, how beneficial has he been to your development as a player?
Crucial. Whether it's on the field, off the field, I tell him all the time I thank him. He helps me be a better leader, a better man on and off the field. He's just always there for you whenever you need him.
And some of the players we talked about the major change in the team's culture. How beneficial have you seen from that change with the new coaching staff?
With the coaching staff, the culture is different, as everyone says. It's just everybody wants to be there. It's high energy. It's super high energy. Everyone's, if you're not in, like the ones and the twos, if they go going back and forth, you got guys on the sidelines throwing water bottles, going crazy. Everybody is helping each other out. There's no individuals. The culture is coming together, and everybody enjoys being at practice. At least I do.
Last one in chemistry, and I know that you guys have had some team functions watching the basketball team. Is that contagious? Do you see that what's going on there and why it's going on there and moving into football?
Oh, it's extremely contagious. Chemistry is everything. Chemistry is trust. Chemistry, you have a bond, and once a team has chemistry, like we're learning to all have chemistry and know each other, you're more comfortable. So when the uncomfortable situations happen, when you're down by 2 points and the field goes up, I'm comfortable with my holder, my line, and my kicker, and you just want to win. You want to do what you got to do, and it's fun, but winning is fun. So.
Thank you. Teams today, is that a fun day for you, or is that a tough day because you have to prepare both units, or both of your rooms to go?
Well, the great thing is Coach Herman is a very heavily involved head football coach in the special teams. So we get special teams every day. Do I enjoy it? Heck yeah, man. Special teams, that's my passion. And we got a bunch of guys that really want to do a good job with it. We got a bunch of coaches that really work hard at it. And I love the fact that our head football coach is really hands-on. He's active in meetings, he's active on the field, and our guys understand the importance of the special teams.
I don't know, at least in the history of FAU, that we've ever had a coach that moved and focused with units as much as he does. You've seen quite a bit on the defensive side of the ball, and you mentioned special teams. So, have you seen somebody move around the way he does?
I've been around a lot of good coaches. I really have. I've been very blessed to be around some that I've really learned a lot from. But I'll tell you, Coach Herman's the real deal. He knows what's going on defense. He knows what's going on offense. He knows what's going on the special teams. He's coaching our players. and he's coaching our coaches. And our whole staff, and I think our whole team feels that. And to me, that is a recipe for success. He is very active. He's probably one of the most active coaches I've been around with all three phases.
You're helping out the tight ends and special teams, and recently Coach Herman promoted you to associate head coach. How do you feel about getting that promotion?
I was very excited about it. You know, the big piece with that promotion is I asked Coach Herman when he decided to do that, just the ability to maybe have some extra responsibilities that allows me to grow. In a former life, I used to be a head coach, and I enjoyed it. And a goal is to be a head coach again one day. And when when I was lucky enough for Coach to keep me, I knew that I had an awesome opportunity to learn from him. He's been a very successful coach. His winning percentage, the way he does things, this was just another way for me to grow. So I'm very appreciative of that opportunity.
We're entering our third week of spring practice. What have you seen from the tight ends and special teams that you've really liked? And have there been any standouts from those groups?
I think just starting with the special teams, I think we've really concentrated mostly on our punt team. We've actually, we've obviously done our field goal team as well. We actually moved to our punt return team today. So we really concentrated on our field goal block and our punt team. I think our guys are continuing to take steps to get better every day. If you want to add some standouts on special teams as far as the specialists go, I think Nick Marino at state long snapper doing the field goal snaps and the punt snaps. He's been very accurate. His speed's been very good. I really like how he's led our specialist group. He stepped up as a leader. There's a lot of guys on our football team that stepped into special teams roles. Larry McCammon and Kobe Lewis are guys on our punt team that I think have, those guys right there are big-time players in our offense, and they've got big roles in our offense. And they're showing the rest of the team that special teams is just as important. You got a guy like Jared Geralds, who's, for a long time has been a four-core guy on special teams, and Jared's getting a lot more reps at linebacker, but he's still giving that effort in special teams. So that's some guys that stuck out. I know I'm missing some, but they're doing a good job. The tight end group, I think that is a group of guys that right now we're trying to find out who our guy is and who's going to end up helping us. I think we've been on a roller coaster. I don't think that's a good thing. I think we're up and down at the tight end position instead of climbing and improving every day. Now that's not to be negative. I just think that's real. And our guys have got to learn how to be a little bit more consistent and pay attention to detail and learn how to dominate reps. So I would like to see our tight ends get a lot better.
This may be a super specific question, but I was talking to Justin McKiffin the other day, and his role last season as a gunner. What do you want those gunners to do? Guys with elite speed, what is their job? Being hopefully the first guy down the field.
Well, and that's what we say. We've got a gunner that's always to the kick side. We got a gunner to the back side. We got to have fast guys. We got to have fast guys that can win at the line of scrimmage, stack the defender, and then get to the ball. And we want to be very aggressive when we get to the ball. We tell them to go shoot their shot. We don't want guys that are timid, maybe breaking down, waiting to see what the returner is going to do. We want to be more an attacking style. We want those guys to really go and what we call take our shot to each side and spill those guys and try to deny the vertical returner. They understand their job, they understand their mission, but first and foremost, obviously you got to protect the punt, but those gunners, their responsibility is to make sure the coverage is handled from the start.
So Coach, what's it like to work under Coach Tom Herman? What kind of vision do you think that he has for this team going forward? Knowing it's his first year, there's a lot of new energy around the building.
Obviously, when you take over a new program, there's always, you got to teach the foundation. Right. You got to teach what the standard is, and then you can't lower the standard. If you ask my opinion on Coach Herman, he's set the standard very high. Right. And what I love about him and what I love that he's done and for us coaches, he's holding us accountable as then we are holding the players accountable, and we're not dropping the standard at all. If you ask me what I think his vision is for FAU, I think he thinks this place is a gold mine. I mean, you see and you look at the success our basketball team's having right now, being in the Final Four. Why can't football do that as well? And I think winning is contagious. And obviously Dusty May's doing a tremendous job with the basketball team. They're doing a great job. Coach Herman is the same type of guy, and he's setting standards that's going to allow us to be a championship football team. What we got to do as coaches, what we got to do as players is we got to buy into it, which I think we are. I know we are, and take it one day at a time and just never drop that standard.
Well, amazingly enough, I'm glad you said that, because Howard Schnellenberger made a great living here in South Florida with what he did in Miami and what he's developed here in Boca by being able to recruit South Florida and found some great athletes and players throughout the years. No question, man. What a great area we're sitting in. I can understand completely why Coach Herman would take this job. Right.
Where we're sitting in the state of Florida, the athletes that are here, then our recruiting radius. I mean, you don't really have to go far to find good football players. And, Coach Herman has really stressed that he wants to have the Tri-County takeover. Our 3 counties, we want to own our 3 counties, and we want FAU to be the home team of those 3 counties. And that's not a knock on any other program in the state, but that's the mentality we got to have at FAU. If we're sitting in a gold mine of a recruiting hotbed, we need to take advantage of it. With
you being an associate head coach, do you see the team a little bit differently as an associate head coach? And then the second part of that question will be, you have tight ends and special teams. Do you look at those 2 units as one aspect, and then looking at it from an associate head coach as another?
As a position coach, you kind of get stuck in your own little room. You get stuck in your rut. You get stuck in that day-to-day action of that room. I think the great thing about being a special teams coordinator is you really get to touch the whole team.
Right.
And I enjoy that. And you get a good feel for the team because of special teams. Coach will have his team meeting, and then as soon as the team meeting over, we have a special teams meeting, and the majority of the team's in there. And you can tell from the start, is there juice, is there not juice, is guys ready to come, are they locked in? So I do see tight ends and special teams as separate. The associate head coach thing, obviously that's just wherever Coach Herman wants me to help.
Right.
But if I'm looking at big picture of the team, I think special teams is where I'm able to see most of it.
Yeah, and one other question. You talked about the Final Four. The energy, obviously, level is here. Is that contagious from the basketball program all the way down to the football program, knowing that even Miami down the road is in it? And Nova even won a championship with Division II. I mean, that's unbelievable what this area is going through all the way around basketball-wise compared to what it could be in football.
Oh, there's no question. If you go back and you look at Coach Herman at the University of Houston and his success at a G5 program, to me, there's no reason why FAU can't be that either. And then when you see our basketball team doing what they're doing, it's amazing. They just went into a tournament of 64 teams, and now they're in the Final Four and have a chance to win a national championship for FAU. When you start thinking about that, man, it's unreal. But it just shows you what the things that FAU can do. And there's no reason why I don't think the football team can't do that. Now, can it be instant success? No, we got to build day to day. Coach is setting his foundation. Coach is setting his culture. And we got to do a good job as a staff, and we got to do a good job as players and buy into it so that we can get to that level.
Yeah, one thing that came to mind as you were answering that question, obviously this is spring practice. How much do you think you're going to learn about these tight ends and special teams players as you head into the summer, going into this regular season, and plus the fact that you're changing conference to a much higher level?
Obviously, what was today? Practice 7. So we got 8 more. So there's still plenty of opportunities to evaluate guys. Obviously when we're in a practice setting, it's broken down into individual segments, and we teach, and we teach different situations. We teach technique. And then, some we let them play ball. And then on scrimmage days, we let them play ball. And that's when you learn a lot about a guy. When the coaches are off the field, you let them get out there and you go. This past week at the scrimmage, we went live punts. We did about 7 live punts. And, we backed away and just let them play. And that told us a lot about our guys. And I think the more we can do that, the more we can evaluate guys that can do it without their coach out there. I think that helps us determine what they can do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.